Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. And kung bago ka sa channel na to, I'm Za and this is Za Canada. Here in this episode, we are going to talk about a letter that we received from one of our viewers. At medyo mabigat yung letter na to. Once again, these are real life story na nangyari sa isa sa mga nanonood sa atin. So actually this story relates so much to me kasi isa ito sa mga naramdaman ko or naranasan ko with my previous employer. And you have to let me know or comment sa baba if you can relate in this episode as well at kung ano yung ginawa nyo in order for you to overcome the anxiety, the stress, and the sleepless nights that you have experienced before. So again, ilang tao ang mga pumapasok sa trabaho na mabigat yung dibdib, hindi dahil sa trabaho, hindi dahil mahirap yung trabaho, hindi dahil mabigat or nakakapagod yung trabaho, pero kundi dahil sa boss. Ang hirap kapag yung boss mo, yung kalaban mo mismo, ang hirap gumalaw. Parang may something sa dibdib mo na umiipit or may ipit sa dibdib mo. So, kung ikaw yung isa sa mga tao na nakaka-experience ng ganyan, then this episode is for you. Again, hindi kita kilala, pero naiintindihan kita. And let me read this letter for you. I'm writing this letter not to seek revenge, not to create drama, and not to destroy reputations. I am writing this simply to finally give a voice to the silence I carried for so long. You were my boss. You were supposed to be my leader, my guide, and the person who would help me grow. Instead, you became the reason I slowly forgot my worth. And that's it. Well, that's the end of the letter. So yun, ano ang naramdaman nyo dun sa letter niya? Napakabigat, diba? Napakasakit nung nararamdaman niya. So imagine nyo, kung ikaw yung taong nasa katayuan niya, I'm sure sasabihin mo, bakit hindi ka umalis? Bakit hindi ka mag-resign? Bakit hindi ka umuwi sa Pilipinas? Nahihirapan ka na pala. Pero, you have to put yourself in their shoe. Bakit nga ba sila nahihirapan? Probably, he's a temporary foreign worker. Kapag umalis siya sa trabaho na yon, makakahanap ba siya ng trabaho na magbibigay sa kanya ulit ng bagong work permit? There are so much reason. Probably, nagsosupport siya sa pamilya niya. Kung tumigil siya sa pagtatrabaho, what will happen to his or her family? Ano ang isusuporta niya or ano ang ibibigay niyang pangkabuhayan dun sa mga nagugutom niyang pamilya sa Pilipinas? Or dun sa mga taong umaasa sa kanya na kaya ka nga nag-Canada eh. Ibig sabihin, may iaangat mo yung buhay namin dito sa Pilipinas. Ikaw yung magiging susi para makaalis kami sa kahirapan dito sa Pilipinas. Kung dala-dala mo lahat yan, then parang ako ikaw. Ako, naka-experience ako ng ganyang situation in the past. And again, maraming boss dito sa Canada ang hindi nila alam na ang biggest impact nila sa empleyado is hindi yung workload. Kasi kakayanin at kakayanin mo yan. Kahit napakadami mong trabaho or daming task na ibinibigay sa'yo, okay lang yan eh. Kasi part ng trabaho mo yan. Pero, ang hindi nila nakikita is kapag tinatrato ka nila ng masama or ng hindi maganda, yan yung nakakapagpabigat sa atin. Yung kung paano nila tratuhin ang isang tao. Minsan nga napapaisip tayo, baka sensitive lang ba ako? Or baka ako ba yung problema? Siguro, lang yun, constructive criticism lang yun, kaya niya ako ginaganon. Pero, kung paulit-ulit ka na sinasaktan, that's not leadership. Hindi siya nararapat na maging leader mo. That is abuse of power. Bagkus, it's psychological abuse. Well, kung nasa ganito kang sitwasyon, gusto ko lang marinig mo na hindi ka mahina, hindi ka bobo, okay? Hindi mahina ang iyong utak at hindi ka kulang. And as I've mentioned earlier, I have experienced that same type of boss before. Well, all you have to do is leave. You can always file a vulnerable open work permit if you are here in Canada so that you'll get the chance to look for another employer who can give you new opportunities at yung tatratuhin kang tama. It's not worth it. Kung patuloy ka sinisira niyan mentally, then hindi worth it yung sahod na ibinibigay sa'yo dun sa mental abuse na idinudulot sa'yo ng boss mo. So you just have to leave, find ways on how you'd be able to help your family aside from your salary. Maybe they can support themselves like in a month or two while you are waiting for your new status. And as far as I know, here in Canada, if you found a new employer who can give you or who can process an LMIA for you, as far as I know, you can already move as long as or given that there is another application that is waiting for you. You can always contact an immigration consultant or lawyer para sa mga information na to. But then again, kung wala kang extra money, there are a lot of pro bono professionals who can provide you legit information. Otherwise, go to the IRCC website and check what you can do para makaalis sa'yo. So once again, hindi worth it mag-stay sa isang mapang-abuso na employer. Hindi ka sinasaktan niyan physically, but deep inside, masakit yan. Okay? So, if this episode spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at ibahagi nyo dun sa mga kakilala nyo na probably pinagdadaanan yung mapang-abusong boss, hindi man physically, kundi mentally. Okay? Yun. So, thank you so much for watching at laging tatandaan, hindi kailangan maraming pera, basta may peace of mind. Until next time. Bye-bye.